We're live. This is Open Minded. I'm Pete.
Hello.
Hello. I'm Pete. This is Zach. Today we're going to be talking about marijuana. Obviously.
They're bringing drugs. They're bringing crime.
Like the interesting thing is the houses you see around you are all solar houses.
21st Century Fox has been holding talks to sell most of the company to Walt Disney.
So, the real question that everybody is asking themselves nowadays is marijuana good for you? Is marijuana bad for you? Should it be illegal? Should it be illegal? Is it evil? Is it the devil's lettuce?
I think whether or not it's good or bad for you, it should still be legal as far as you're an adult and you can make your own decisions whether they're good or bad.
I definitely agree with you because I consider myself a libertarian, although I don't adhere to all of their views. But one of their main views is that the freedom to do what you want with your own body and your own property. It's my body. If I want to smoke cigarettes and give myself cancer or drink and, give myself liver damage, I'm allowed to do that. If I want to smoke massive amounts of marijuana and make myself feel amazing, I'm not allowed to do that.
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
You should be able to do what you want with your own body, whether it's harmful for you or not, as long as it doesn't adversely affect other people.
Yeah. Well, think about it like this. They don't stop people from being like bodybuilders. Like a lot of them, not a lot of them, but they die young. They work out their heart too much. Same thing with like the strong men. They always seem to die really young too. But that's like the whole argument. You should be able to do whatever you want to your own body. Like think about the harm a person's doing, tattooing his entire face and all this kind of shit. Like he's not going to get a good job, So like he's doing harm to himself and his future doing that.
And possibly the economy as well.
Yeah, exactly.
If you're really going to reach like you are, I'm just looking at the comparison between cigarettes, alcohol, and marijuana. How cigarettes
All right,
is
just those
completely
three?
legal. Cigarettes is completely legal. Has zero health
Well, you have
benefits.
to be old enough.
Yeah, 18. Okay. But it's completely legal once you're over the age of 18, has zero health benefits, kills thousands of people every year. Legal. Alcohol has some health benefits if you do it in moderation,
Yeah, like
but the amount of people who die from alcohol poisoning and liver disease and alcohol-related heart disease is in the thousands a year. Legal. Marijuana, zero deaths correlated to marijuana. Now there are so many studies coming out that there are a lot of health benefits to using marijuana, but it's a Schedule 1 drug and it's just as evil as heroin.
well,
It just doesn't make any
also
sense.
like think about this. How many people die from being like fat in America?
Yeah,
Or too
but
much
McDonald's
candy.
isn't a Schedule
Yeah.
1 drug.
Exactly.
It's all
So
it
bad.
all comes down to money. It all correlates down to these companies that are making a lot of money from selling sugar and fatty foods and cigarettes and tobacco and alcohol. Like there's just so much money in it, and those companies don't want to stray away from their revenue, and legalizing marijuana will definitely lose them money.
Yeah. But like if they got on board with it, they'd be making a lot more money than trying to make it illegal.
I know, but
Like think about
there's
all
a
the
risk.
states that make it. Their tax revenue or whatever is almost in the billions, every year from this shit. Like let's see. 6.7 billion in North America in 2016.
From tax revenue.
Yep. Just from taxing. and that's people going out getting like a 20 bag or whatever.
Yeah, I mean, at this study, which was done in 2017, says between 2014 and May 31st of 2017, cumulative cannabis sales have generated $506 million in tax revenue in Denver, in Colorado.
In Denver, yeah, Colorado. How many people live in Colorado? That's insane.
I mean, just $506 million in tax revenue. Imagine if it was legalized federally. Like we could potentially almost completely cut like an entire tier of income tax, and it would be revenue neutral for the government.
Yeah.
And they only have a 2.9% tax, sales tax on medical marijuana.
And it made that much?
And it made that much. Like, I mean, you live in New York. I live in California. Those are two of the highest tax, like sales tax states. California sales tax is 8%. So if you put an 8% sales tax on marijuana,
Pretty sure we're at 8% or something like that too.
yeah, if you put an 8% sales tax on marijuana, you're going to be making just immense amounts of money. It's just ridiculous.
Well, we have two dispensaries in New York. I think. At least I think we have two on Long Island.
That's it?
Yeah, but also it's for like you have to have like cancer kind of thing.
Well, there's like 6 right around the corner from my house.
Yeah.
My favorite place to hang out.
Yeah, I remember.
Well, like I use marijuana both for recreational purposes and for medical purposes. And what pisses me off about the laws in this country is right now, I'm sure most of you know, marijuana has been voted in to become recreationally legal, and it's been implemented in the beginning of 2018. So as of January of 2018, marijuana is recreationally and medicinally legal in the state of California. Yet I have been looking for work, and most places that are hiring are requiring drug tests and will not hire you if you pop for marijuana in a state that it's recreationally legal.
But what if you popped for like alcohol? Would they be like, this
They don't
guy's an
test for
alcoholic?
alcohol.
They got drunk before that.
They don't test for alcohol.
Are they really testing for weed though?
Yes. I was
Or are they
denied a
testing
position.
for cocaine?
I was denied a position because I went in and
Oh,
they
really?
said, okay, all you have to do is do this background check and pass this drug test. And me, the ignorant mind that I have, I say, oh, okay, drug test. I can pass that because I don't do heroin or meth or cocaine. But
Yeah.
marijuana is legal. So I'm allowed to do that, right? Just like I'm allowed to drink alcohol. They're giving away, like in their office, they give away like gift cards to like Bevmo and stuff. So I'm assuming that if you're going to treat alcohol the same as marijuana, like our state is doing, then you
Yeah.
shouldn't be testing for marijuana. But I didn't get the job because I popped positive for marijuana. It's just, it makes me so angry. And like, I mean, I guess I might be coming off as like kind of one of those, angry pothead stoners who are just, defending marijuana because I like to smoke. But there are so many studies out there that state that marijuana is not as bad as alcohol. And yet
And
alcohol...
it's actually no, it's not that it's not as bad as alcohol.
It's
It's
better
that it's
for you.
actually good. It's actually good for you. Like like if you took a person who, I don't know, like smoked a gram of weed throughout a week, and you take a clone of that person and he doesn't even smoke a gram of weed. I bet you the person who smokes a gram of weed, after like 20 years doing this fucking testing, he'll be mentally healthier, physically healthier, probably have a better immune system, all these things, because it's
happier
actually kind of
altogether.
good to take in a little, like stuff into your body that isn't good for you.
Like the
It's
whole
actually
study,
good for you for that.
like the study that like a glass of red wine every night is good for you because it thins your blood a
Yeah.
little bit and allows. But if you drink a bottle of red wine a night, then you're probably gonna die.
But it's like the same thing as you like going outside with like bare feet and playing in the dirt. Like if you never did that ever, you maybe might get sick. But if you do that every day, you're probably never going to get sick. And you probably have a strong enough immune system to where another thing that would normally get you sick doesn't get you sick.
Yeah. Well, this study, let's see, NCBI. We're going to put links down in the description. This study tested the addictiveness of multiple substances. And some people say marijuana is not addictive. Some people say it is addictive. So, I mean, everything is addictive. If you look at sugar and caffeine, those are addictive because I can't go.
Oxygen is so addicting.
I know. So this study determines that nicotine is 67.5% addictive. So 67.5% of users who try nicotine will become addicted to it. For alcohol, it's 22.7%. For cocaine, it's 20.9%. And for cannabis, it is 8.9%. So people who say that cannabis is just as addictive as cigarettes, that's a complete lie. This study
That's a complete lie. Well, I smoked weed before going in the Marine Corps. I was able to not really smoke weed most of the time in the Marine Corps, but I needed cigarettes to get through that. I didn't even just need cigarettes. I needed cigarettes, dip.
Yeah, I
fucking
dipped
the
so
patch.
much while I was in the Marine Corps.
Yeah. It's insane.
Well, so I think that just like alcohol and, and cigarettes, it all depends on the person. Now, this study is claiming that more than 50% of people who try cigarettes are going to become addicted. But that still leaves a large amount of people who have tried them and who are just like, I'm not addicted, and they try them and they don't like them and then they stop. They don't become addicted.
You know that commercial where it's like anti-cigarette, and it says like 80% of people who join the military start smoking after they join, and it's like saying how like cigarettes are bad and all this shit like that. But like that statistic is so stupid because when you can normally join the military is like 17 to 18. When you can normally get cigarettes is 17 to 18 to 19. So obviously those fucking numbers coincide together. It's like they don't even know how to do their own math. Like I hate that shit.
Yeah, it's causation is not correlation. And that's
Exactly. That's
what
like when they
people
say
don't understand.
it's a gateway drug. It's like no, because obviously a person who's going to smoke weed or a cigarette or do anything is little like rebellious enough to maybe try drinking, and then maybe when you're drunk, you do something even more stupid, and just fucking snowballs from there.
Well,
like,
I think the main reason that marijuana is a gateway drug is because it's illegal. Because when you buy marijuana, you get it from a
You're now
drug
an illegal
dealer.
person.
You get it from
Yeah, I
a drug
remember
dealer.
I used to make jokes like that when like we first started smoking. It's like, are we all legal right now? If a cop like drives by or whatever, it's like we're legal right now, or are we?
Well, the idea that like drug dealers are business people. I mean they're doing it in a black market.
entrepreneurs.
But if you buy marijuana from a drug dealer and they have something that's more expensive and more addictive, they're going to try to peddle that on you. Because if you're going to them for weed, then you're gonna maybe if you try cocaine, then you might continue to come back for them for coke. So that's why it's a gateway drug. But if you get marijuana from a regulated dispensary, just like you buy alcohol from a liquor store, you have no access to harder drugs. So how could it be a gateway drug?
Yeah, like at least reputable establishments are not like a drugstore, pharmaceutical, and also a liquor store,
I actually,
and also a gun store.
right. I mean,
It's
in
ridiculous.
Texas, but I actually think that there are laws stopping companies from selling alcohol and marijuana in the same store.
I have no problem with that.
Yeah, I don't have a problem
Like
with that either.
you
If
go to the store. Like I'm not gonna go to the vegan store and then be pissed off that they don't have bacon. You know.
I do. I go to the bacon store.
I
and
would
throw
never go to
blood
the
on their
vegan store
face.
anyway, though. I would never go there. Well, maybe for some like to use their bathroom.
To shit on their walls. I was actually vegan for a year, and I just missed meat. Like it was a lot of
Recently?
work. Huh? Recently, yeah. I stopped about 4 months ago. I didn't eat meat or dairy or any type of animal product for an entire year, and I enjoyed it. I felt pretty healthy, but it was a lot of work. Like just you know, because
Why did you do it though? To save money or something?
No, not to save money. I did it because there's a lot of studies out talking about the health, the detrimental health,
Risks.
risks in eating animal products, and that one study showed that eating processed meat is just as carcinogenic as smoking cigarettes. So I
Well, yeah,
stopped, and also
processed meat, well, like pepperoni and shit.
yeah. And I
Yeah, I
also
don't like
stopped
that
eating
anyway.
dairy though too, like, and which was the hardest part, stopping cheese. But like because you know dairy is just really bad for your body, and then on top of that,
No way.
yeah, it really is. We'll have another discussion about this, but on top of that, there's a lot of environmental replications to the meat production. I'm not even talking about like animal rights. I'm talking about just it comes back to like companies wanting money. They'll do anything, even if it's bad for the environment, to make extra money. So
Well, what if you went hunting? Would you have eaten that?
yes, like natural.
No, I mean, while
Naturally-
you were doing vegan, would you have eaten deer meat?
Well, part of the reason I did it is for the health reasons, so probably not. But now I am just more selective with my meat and dairy products. I couldn't go 100% vegan for the rest of my life. It was just a lot of work because it's like you go out to eat and you see friends and stuff like that, and it's like you can't have anything in the restaurant, so you have to bring your own little like salad with you. It's just
gay.
way too much work.
I don't even. Well, yeah, we'll get into that at a different time. But why did
Well,
we talk about that?
Because you said
yeah,
if you
being
went
angry.
into the vegan
Yeah.
store and expecting
Yeah.
bacon, you wouldn't be mad at them.
Yeah.
But I mentioned something about meat being carcinogenic. Now let's transition into the idea that people who smoke marijuana could get lung cancer, because there's a lot of speculation that smoking it actually can cause cancer just as much as tobacco. And they're actually
Yeah, but no, there's chemicals in THC or in weed that also fight cancer.
yeah.
So it's like you're adding one and then taking one off, like immediately. It's like a equation that always brings you to zero.
Oh, it's like eating a cheeseburger and then having a salad. It cancels each other out.
No, it's like it's like eating a cheeseburger and then working out.
Yeah. There are chemicals in marijuana that help fight cancer, and that's been proven. This study by NIH,
I mean, they give it to
Public
cancer
Ac-
patients.
Access. Yeah, but they I think a lot of times they give it to cancer patients to help with the nausea and the vomiting from chemotherapy.
Yeah, that's what alcohol's for.
Okay. Well, this study from NIH Public Access, they did a couple of blind studies testing people who both smoke marijuana heavily and recreationally, and people who smoke marijuana and mix it with tobacco and alcohol, and the overall results is this right here. It states no overall association between cannabis smoking and all lung cancer was detected among never tobacco smokers. So if you just smoke marijuana occasionally and you don't smoke tobacco, then this study has found that there is no correlation or association between cannabis smoking and lung cancer.
Yeah, that's what I would imagine.
And also, if you the best thing about cannabis is there's other ways to ingest it. You don't have to smoke it. Like when you use a vape, like a vaporizer,
With butter.
it cuts out. Well, even if you enjoy, because you get a much different sensation from eating than from smoking.
Yeah.
So, and I prefer smoking, but I sometimes use the
I prefer
vaporizer
smoking,
because
too.
it cuts out. The vaporizer cuts out a majority of the carcinogenic chemicals and cuts out the tar rather than smoking it. Because I don't. I mean, I don't like eating it. It's much different.
I do
sensation.
enjoy eating it if I'm going to be doing something like around the house all day as like maybe a party or something like that. But like, other than that, I like smoking it. But also, I prefer the flower over the oils or whatever because I don't know, just that's the high I'm expecting, I guess. And you could do like a triple percolated fucking water bong. Will clean that shit out pretty good, and I mean that'll get you so high. You only need a few more hits.
Now, I know a lot of people do it just for medicinal purposes, and
Yeah,
I find that when I do consume marijuana, my joints hurt much less. I'm in a much. I mean, part of it has to do with the THC that in the marijuana that gives me a more of a happier like outlook on life, but it's almost as if it were a natural antidepressant and anti-anxiety drug, especially if you're using it with high CBD.
Mm-hmm.
Cannabidol. Bleh.
That's funny.
But there's in this study from NCBI, PubMed.gov. They're talking about how it reduces seizures, not only in adults but in children.
Oh yeah, no, yeah, I've seen that. All those videos. It's like that's proof right there. I've seen it work with dogs that have seizures.
They actually in my dispensary they sell dog treats that are infused
Really?
with CBD. Yeah, no THC, just CBD.
That's cool.
I
Maybe
mean,
you
just
should send me some of those
okay.
because I'm about to get my dog neutered, and I'm gonna get him the what are they called? Nudicles. It's like fake balls.
Ew, really?
Yeah. Well, I don't like the way it looks. I don't like looking at because my dog is always like wagging his ass in front of me because he wants me to scratch his butt. So like I'll scratch his butt and it looks so weird with like a little like squished walnut skin underneath. I hate the way that shit is. It's weird.
My dog.
So
was
he's gonna, and that way he won't even really know. Like he'll be like, I feel like maybe you did something, but I see him.
You're
You know
gonna-
how like you always
he's-
feel guilty.
He's gonna forget about it within the first 10 minutes of him being neutered. I'm telling you, my dog, like my vet and everybody are like, yeah, your
Yeah, but
dog's
he's
gonna
like
calm down.
a year and a few months old now, so he's smart.
Everybody said your dog's gonna calm down after he gets neutered. My dog is just as crazy as it was before. Well, in this study, 84% of parents who gave their children CBD reported a reduction in the child's seizures frequency after taking the CBD. So, I mean, just like every medicine, it might not work for everybody, but the massive amounts of health benefits that marijuana offers, I mean, that just shows, and imagine if it wasn't a Schedule I drug, because it's so hard to do any type of testing on Schedule I drugs, and that's why they're Schedule I. But like meth,
Not only that,
and
if you
cocaine
do that,
are
you're gonna
Schedule
take you're gonna take the doctors that would be normally doing it in like American medical, research, and they're gonna be going to other countries that are allowing them to study that shit, and then they're gonna get all the benefits and credits and patent money and all that shit.
Yeah, there's a lot of
So
money
it's just
in
it's
marijuana.
a poor economic choice to make it illegal.
Yeah, I agree. Just from the tax revenue, like
Well, I'm just saying, just from the money making from medical science, like profits from that, right there, that's worth it. Let
what about the
alone
job
tax
creation?
and yeah, something like what 81,000 jobs or something like that have been created in California
Because of marijuana.
because of marijuana. Just in the places that sell it, like let alone people that grow it and maybe even do security for big grow operations. So it's
Yeah.
even more like sort of hidden.
It creates
Yeah.
so many jobs.
Yeah, a lot of jobs.
I know
a lot
people
of
who work security in the
money
dispensaries.
circulation.
I know
Yeah.
former Marines who work security in dispensaries. I wonder if they get a discount.
I would imagine. Yeah.
I wonder if they had to pass a drug test. Because
Maybe.
if you're a security officer, they probably don't want you getting high on the job. But it's just like, and that's the thing though. Like,
Yeah, but
we
like
need
you
to find
kind of
out.
can though.
No, well, I know, but
I'm way better
employers.
at cooking and doing almost anything when I'm high.
Well, I think that's one way to look at
There's a
it.
few things I'm not so sure because I just haven't done them
I
like
think
enough
that I'm
high.
a great singer when I'm high, but if I listen
Singer?
to my but if I listen to my voice when I'm sober after I recorded it high, I'm like, wow, what was I thinking?
Well, that's just being silly when you're high.
Well,
You're being silly.
you're so silly. Well, I think personally, give it like 5 years and federally, it will become legal.
Yeah.
At least medicinally, maybe not
Well, that's what
recreationally,
Trump
but
wants
at
to
least
do.
medicinally. But
Trump doesn't care.
yeah, but if he didn't
Either
care,
way.
why did he hire Jeff Sessions then? Jeff Sessions is like the most evil person in the government right now, and
I don't know.
Trump hired him. He was appointed to the position by Trump, and Jeff Sessions said specifically when he was given the role that he would not change any type of regulations that the Obama administration put in place about states deciding their fate when it comes to marijuana. But just this month, he repealed that regulation. So now, technically,
I don't know. They're
the
probably going
FBI
to put
can
something
come
a little bit
into
more
Colorado.
clear in there.
Well, no, they're not going to. Jeff
Yeah,
Sessions.
because Obama's all that stuff is very loosely worded, and all this weird holes come up, and like they're probably just trying to get rid of that one so they can make one that's a little bit more specific and says regulations or whatever kind of better.
Listen, all politics is loosely worded and have loopholes and everything. But Jeff Sessions has openly come out and said that marijuana is evil and it's a gateway drug, and we have to start cracking down on marijuana.
I know he
use.
said that.
I think that's just such a
but nobody
primitive.
cares about that. Nobody cares about weed. You could literally I've taken weed through the airport. Like dogs, I think aren't even really trained to smell weed anymore. Like it's a waste of time.
The fact is that somebody like an attorney general of the United States who regulates the law is saying that marijuana is evil and should be a Schedule I drug, and that's somebody who's so high on the totem pole. They shouldn't have those kinds of closed-minded.
I
views.
agree, but also
he shouldn't
nobody.
be in the
Who's
position
gonna
that
go
he's
into California and start arresting people for having like weed?
in the beginning
just having
when California first medicinalized weed, there were dispensaries and manufacturers getting raided by the FBI because, and this was prior to
it was new.
This is prior to Obama putting the regulation in. Regulation is gone because of Jeff Sessions. So technically, legally, the FBI can come in and storm any type of marijuana dispensary or manufacturer. So are they going to do it? Maybe
No,
not.
they're not gonna do it.
But legally, they could. That's what scares me. It all comes down to money again. Like, I'm sure that Jeff Sessions has some
But they
type of...
could just do it with or without that law. Like, they could just do it. And, like, what? Is this the fucking state cops going to stop the FBI when they show up at, like, 100 people or some shit, you know?
No.
No,
No,
they're not
but-
going to stop them.
But, I mean, I don't know. I think that... I don't know. It all comes down to money. I'm sure that Sessions has some type of money coming in on the side, like telling him that marijuana should be illegal, and that's why he's going after marijuana the way he is. When the majority, it just pisses me off because the majority of Americans nowadays, 26 states have, or maybe it's 27, have legalized it medicinally.
Yeah.
If the majority
A lot.
of America wants something to be legal, why isn't it legal? It just
Because
does
of money.
Because of money. Now,
Which is weird, too, because we make more money using weed than using it as a thing to, like, charge people and put them in jail and, you know,
it's funny that you say that
way of
because
getting that money.
there's a Senator Cory Booker. His entire career, he's been against the legalization of marijuana. And one of the reasons why is because he's been being backed by large pharmaceutical companies his entire career. And obviously pharmaceutical companies have the most to lose from medicinalizing and legalizing marijuana. So all these pharmaceutical companies that give him money every election cycle to keep his spot as a senator have been whispering in his ear telling him, no, don't legalize marijuana. Now all of a sudden, out of the blue, he's saying, I've seen a lot of very compelling preliminary data that shows that there is a drop in opioid overdoses in areas that have better access to marijuana. Now, those studies have been around for a long time. So what has changed? What has changed his tune? I'll tell you what it is. The Young Turks looked into this. I'm not a huge fan of them, but
Yeah, I don't like them either.
But one of their researchers looked into this recently. She found that one of the pharmaceutical companies that backs him is planning on buying out a medical marijuana distributor. So now that they have stakes in the game and they have the ability to earn all the money and the revenue coming from the medicinal marijuana field, all of a sudden Cory Booker is all for it. They're pulling the strings. It's all about money.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but that's fine.
I mean, it's fine
I
for
mean,
people who
I'm
want to smoke
saying
weed,
fine.
but it's just the corruption in the government but the
Yeah,
reason.
no, that's not what I'm saying is fine. What I'm saying is fine is, you know, just pharmaceutical companies wanting to get a piece of the action. I'm fine with that. I mean,
I have a real
if
big
it
issue
ever
with it.
becomes legal, like, I'm basically just going to grow it myself. I mean, I kind of do already, or did, or maybe am, or maybe I'm not. Who knows?
What's your address? Just state it for our viewers, real quick.
It's in America.
Sick. I don't know. I think that there's a lot of issues still in this country when it comes to marijuana and the views that people have and the way that our government is dealing with it. Would you agree?
Yeah.
But overall, there's a lot of evidence showing that it's less dangerous than other drugs that are currently legal. That it has,
I mean, in a lot of ways, it's actually healthy for you.
yeah, and it has a lot of medicinal properties. So personally, I think that we should completely deregulate it, except for maybe, you have to be 18 or 21 to buy it, and you shouldn't be high and driving. I think as soon as they figure out a way to like make an accurate breathalyzer test for marijuana, they're going to legalize it, because that might be one of the major reasons why it's not legal yet. Because they can't. Because the only thing that they could do now is take a blood test, and the blood test will tell you if you've smoked in the past 24 hours. So yeah, I smoked yesterday, but that doesn't mean I'm high right now, driving, officer.
Yeah, exactly.
And then you exhale and smoke comes out of your lungs. I don't know. What do you guys
Maybe
think?
a lip test.
But what if
Like
you
they
eat
go
it?
like this, and if there's THC on your lips still, like it's been not that much amount of time. Even if you haven't even drank anything, probably.
I don't know.
I don't know.
There's so much to talk about
I'll
when it comes to
patent
this
that
subject.
if it comes out to be anything.
Yeah, you have to invent something to patent it, I think. So go invent
I could
something
patent the
first.
idea.
Yeah, maybe. Intellectual property. What do you guys think? Is marijuana good? Is it bad? Should it be legal? Should it stay the way it is? If you're watching us on YouTube, comment down below. If you're listening to us and want to start an open conversation, email us at openmindedepisodes@gmail.com. Any last words?
Legalize it.
All right, see you guys next time.